What if, instead of showcasing our college degrees, job accolades, and prestigious awards, our resumes dared to list our detours, dead ends, failures, and employment gaps?
What if that list of all the scraps and screw-ups of our careers is where the real seeds of possibility lie?
We offer up the muddy mess to showcase that nothing is wasted. Every experience counts and creates the conditions for new life and growth.
The scraps, the leftovers, the discarded stuff, its richness is the fertile soil for new life to take root. Even in the times we've been hurt, disappointed, let down, these shitty experiences make way for new learnings.
In this Shitpile episode, we talk with Scarlett Lewis, who started the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement after her 6-year-old son Jesse was murdered at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Make sure you listen to the full episode on A Life Worth Working. For now, here's Scarlett Lewis's contribution to the Shitpile.
Scarlett, we often use this metaphor, Michelle and I, when talking about pain. And you've talked about pain as purpose and pain as a connector. And through your powerful words, have demonstrated so many ways that you've seen pain transformed in your life. So we often use this metaphor of manure, the stinky, hard stuff, the shit of life, and how it could be compost fertilizer for new things to grow, for new possibilities. And, I'm wondering, in your professional life, in this movement that you've created since Jesse's murder, have you experienced that? Like, have you experienced moments that have felt like stuckness or manure that have been really difficult, but you've seen something good come out of them?
I love that because I actually have poop machines in my backyard. 100.
No way. Yeah. What are the poop machines for?
They're horses. And they poop about 100 pounds a day. So I got lots of that manure. Have I experienced manure? Oh, yeah, in more ways than one.
That's right. It's not just a metaphor. You know this.
No, it's not. And that's true. Oh, my gosh. So many things have happened in the last 12 years. So many really, really tough things. I mean, above and beyond Jesse's murder, betrayals and, dealing with people who said that the Sandy Hook tragedy never happened and that I'm an actor and so many difficulties, nights where I woke up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat, thinking about making the budget for our little 501c3 and how I was going to do that. I mean, and lots of, just the issues that are a part of running a nonprofit or any organization. I mean, we have all of those issues. And these are first-time things for me because I had never run an organization before. And so I have to remind myself. I think I started off that way, saying, that we have the skills and tools. We're always learning and growing, and I'm always learning more. But, you're going to run into situations that are just, a fresh pile, as you say, of manure.
Right.
And they sometimes have to age a little bit, and you've got to kind of push through it. Picture chickens right on top of manure, pushing through it, trying to find the good bits if there are any. And right. And then it eventually turns into fertilizer and of the best kind, right? Because it's organic and it just turns into rich, thick, black soil, which I have a lot of that too. You can, the plants that grow are 5 times as big as a plant that's grown without this fertilizer.
Wow.
Of just really tough times. And so, yes, I love that metaphor, by the way, because it's so true. And I really believe that if you've had those really tough times and you've had a trusted adult, you've had a model that's helped you get through it, or you've been fortified with character, social, emotional development in school, you have what you need to grow through that and become that incredible person that people want to be around, that they feel blessed to be around, that has so much to share in their, and they connect, with their story first that opens the heart and minds. And then they can share these skills and tools that they've developed. And it's gold. I know that you're thinking of those people right now, and so am I. I think about at Christmas, the boys always got a big box of books. And JT kind of pokes fun at that now. It's like he'd open this box and it would be like, books. Was telling one of my friends, like books about people that had broken their necks and become paralyzed, or their planes were shot down and they were in concentration camps for years, or like just the hardest of the hard stories. Great books. And that's just what I gravitated towards. And I read kids those books, starting with the Laura Ingalls Wilder series, and we read the entire series. In fact, I was starting that with Jesse when he died, and not knowing, by the way, that we were learning vicarious post-traumatic growth through stories and gaining some skills and tools from what these people were sharing with us and teaching us through their story. That's how we learn and grow. It's through those piles of manure. And by the way, whenever I had a big pile of manure happen in my 501c3, which I did, I'd reach out to other people that ran organizations, or even I've even had hard calls with my donors to say, hey, this happened and I made a mistake. And ultimately, I take responsibility for what happened. And oh my goodness, all of them saying, that happened to me.
Yeah.
That happened to me. And we believe in you, and we're going to stay with you and love and support you. So, keep doing what you're doing. We believe in it. Those really hard calls of vulnerability and an apology. And it's been an incredible journey.
Yeah.
Easy, but incredible. And I feel so blessed to be living my purpose now. And I know, it's this weird dichotomy, because I know I wouldn't be doing this unless my son had died in a brutal way. Yeah. And of course, I'd give it all back for one more second with him, but that's not going to happen. So I really do believe, I really saw that nurturing, healing, love message as almost like a race, where you pass the batons off. And he's like, okay, Mom, I've given you a platform and I did my part, which, by the way, is much harder than my part, which is simply standing in front of audiences and speaking and coming on podcasts and, visiting with new audiences, which I love to do. I love to share the story. And it's a lot easier than having to stand up to a shooter coming into a classroom, making the choice to sacrifice my life to save 9 of my friends. So that's the kind of courage I had to live up to.
Wow.
And I'm still working on it.
What strikes me most about Scarlett's journey is how she challenges our traditional notions of purpose. We often think of purpose as something fixed, something we discover and then pursue. But her story reveals purpose as a dynamic, responsive process, something we create through our choices, especially in our most challenging moments.
And isn't that the ultimate soul of work? Not just completing tasks or achieving external metrics, but showing up with intention, transforming our pain into purpose, choosing love over fear in every interaction. Scarlett teaches us that our professional worth isn't determined by perfect outcomes, but by our capacity to respond to challenges with compassion, creativity, and an open heart.
A reminder that the soul of work is really about the soul of being human.
For more about Scarlett's inspiring journey of recovery from heartache to radical love and compassion, make sure you listen to her full episode on a life worth working. And don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends and loved ones who may also be searching for purpose and meaning in their work lives, or what we call the soul of work.